So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
You women sit on social media, you sit around, oh, everybody killing
Yes.
everybody, but you never tell the truth that it's been 1,000 shootings and homicides trickle back down to you running your mouth or you calling somebody and exaggerating because you feel disrespected. Stop calling people. You get in an argument with somebody on the block, that's it, leave it there. You call your brother, now these niggas going through it the whole summer, and then somebody's child die about it. That's your fault.
This is something that I spoke about before, how even when I was younger, right, I would have instances where if a girl wanted to quote unquote do something to me, and I just so happened to have said something back or whatnot, whatever, she would then play victim. And she was like, oh, well, I'm going to get my big brother, or I'm going to sit up there and get my best friends, and, they in gangs and all this other type of stuff, and yada, yada, yada. So there's a lot of fact and truth to what it is that this woman stated at this moment in time. But the issue and the problem is you have a lot of black women out there that are not going to be honest about the fact that whenever they get into a confrontation that they caused, whenever they get into an argument that they caused or enabled, that the end result is, oh, well, I can't handle this, situation because this dude is obviously stronger than me because he's a man. Let me call my father. Let me call my brother who been in and out of prison and jail. Or let me call, my ex-boyfriend who, was an ex-drug dealer and gang member who just got out of a bed and all this other type of stuff. This is what happens. I've covered videos like this as well, where you have had women involve other men who did not even need to be involved in the situation. And either one of the men died or both of the men died. And you know who gets to walk away from this whole situation with their life still intact? That woman who started it all. She was a cause of either one or both lives either being taken or both men being locked away in prison, therefore taking more men off of the street, therefore taking more men that could potentially be responsible or help to rebuild or do something progressive and positive in the neighborhood. Took all of that basically away, and more than likely took a father away from a home, a father away from a child, a brother away from his brother, right? An uncle away from his nephew. All of this is a vicious cycle, and everybody plays a part. Now, the one thing that's going to take place that you'll have some women state, well, men are stupid for involving themselves. Just because a woman called doesn't mean that you have to respond, or doesn't mean that you have to be violent in any, different sort of type of way. The problem with that is if a guy tries to, in a sense, mediate whatever it is that is going on, and something was stated disrespectfully, or she was treated disrespectfully, the thing that's going to end up happening is the woman would then look at the man as less, like, oh, well, he disrespected me, he called me this, he said that, he did this, and you're just trying to talk to him. You're not the man that I thought you was. Why aren't you trying to fight him? And it's that whole thing. So it's like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But to put this into a whole different perspective so that people can understand it, let's go to a comment from Twitter. This brother stated, when I was younger, a chick told me and the dude D, both we are talking ish about each other. Me and my homies fought him and his for months, and I even ended up stabbed behind it. Whole time she was messing with us both and wanted us to beef so we wouldn't find out. I know we could have talked it out instead of it being on site. Just saying, the amount of men dead or in jail behind a woman's lies combined with her own foolishness is higher than you think. So even with the brother pointing out a variety of things, this is the one thing I want to cover first. You do have a lot of us who, meaning men, who are foolish enough to basically fight over a woman. And usually a woman is seeing somebody else. If any, at a moment in time that you find yourself in a predicament where you have to fight for a woman, meaning that it's over another guy that she's been seeing, it's not worth it. It's not you losing your life, because at the end of the day, both men are going to lose and the woman is going to win at the end of the day, because she's going to get what she wanted, which is that emotional combativeness, all of that, type of, oh yeah, fight for me, prove to me that you really love me, prove to me that you really want to be with me. And then the end result is, even if one of those guys wins, it's going to be the exact same predicament a few days, a few weeks, a few months, a few years from now. And it's going to be the exact same thing. It's going to be continuous L after L after L after L. And she's going to be the only one that's going to win at the end of the day. That's one thing that I 100% agree that men need to stop doing. Stop fighting over women. It's not worth it. 7 billion people on this planet. Women outnumber men. It makes no sense to fight over a woman, especially if you know that she's seeing, or you hear words of her being with another guy. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Let her be with that other dude. There's no reason for you to lose any possibilities, any type of future. It makes no sense for you to lose your life over somebody that obviously does not care that much for you. It makes no sense. And then the whole other aspect, yet again, is the fact that she was getting what she wanted at the end of the day. She was having her cake and eating it too. She was playing both of these dudes at the same time, while also having both of these dudes fighting, because she was speaking in their ear, telling them something negative about the other person. This is what happens when you deal with second or third hand information. Instead of getting the information directly from those two people, if these brothers were a lot more sensible, and they would have been like, yo, I don't even know you, so it makes no sense why I even got a problem with you. I don't even know you either. It makes no sense why I got a problem. If they both would have just sat down for at least 5 seconds, matter of fact, 5 minutes, and just try to understand where they got the information from, they would have both been on the same page and understood who the real enemy and who the real villain was. And they could have showcased that to the world, instead of somebody potentially almost losing their life due to the fact of what she said to him, and vice versa. And this is the main thing that I talk to and state, well, I mean, talk about and state on these videos, that a lot of women out here are not going to be honest to their sons about the nature of a lot of these young girls and these women out here, where they are conniving vultures, where they are vindictive, where there are nothing but succubuses, and they are just out here to just live off of the life energy of other men, making them fight, making them do all of these other types of things so that they can survive and live off of that type of energy, because they can't live and survive off of their own energy at all. They just can't. So they have to have another life force in order for them to keep going. And because they need that, they're willing to take, they're willing to destroy, they're willing to lie, they're willing to deceive, they're willing to cause envy, they're willing to cause jealousy, they're willing to cause anger, they're willing to cause sadness, they're willing to cause hopelessness. They're willing to do all of these things just so what? They can benefit from the whole situation. Two people are going to lose out of the three. But the main consistent thing is that that woman is going to win every single time. Because just like how that one woman, for the example of the young man who stated his own experience, just like how that one woman was able to do that, I'm pretty sure she did that to a multitude of other men. And just as that example exists, there exists other examples of women doing the exact same thing, having untold numbers of bodies below their feet that they consistently walk on just to stay afloat, just to do the things that they do on an everyday basis. And the moment in time that their energy start falling low, they'll start going for a lot of these guys that they know that they can easily deceive and force them into combative or fighting type of circumstances, where it not only is going to jeopardize whatever livelihood that they have, but it's also going to jeopardize somebody's life or both lives at the end of the day. So, like I said before, only so few are actually going to be honest about the things that are taking place here. Only so few. I can admit the faults of men where it comes into, men wanting to have that hero complex, men wanting to fight over something that they feel or think that is theirs, even though the woman is clearly stating that, yo, she's seeing this other dude. Clearly stating that she's seeing this other dude. So why fight? The only person that you should be mad at is that woman. And on top of that, just yourself. Realistically, to be a better man, you should just walk away from the situation, because the end result is going to be more than likely you losing your life just trying to prove a point, or you just trying to get that emotion directly out of the way. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens to one of the guys or either of the guys, that woman is going to live her life, a full one. She's going to have kids, grandkids, have other boyfriends, have some fiancés or some husbands, and she's going to live out her age while she has all of those bodies in her wake. So, like I said, hopefully, a lot of young men out there will understand and realize, don't be fighting over these girls out here. Don't be fighting over these young women out here. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it, because the end result is that woman is going to take a son away from a mother. And that's something that doesn't get talked about at all.